really good, like a great question, because I am very curious.
So this question right here says, I keep hearing this. It seems like men are okay with being single if they are not showing up to these events. I heard the clubs are getting low too. And this was a comment that was uh, stated within that first clip that was played. Here we go.
Curious about it, except for the club part. I don't care Nathan about no club. Why do men not go to singles events? Like, why don't y'all go? The ones in the church, or just like regular single. I don't know. I'm only talking about the ones in the church because those are normally the only ones I go to. But why don't y'all go? And one of my friends was there, and I was surprised to see him at the singles event that I was at. And he was like, "Oh, I'm only here because my friend told me about it. Like, someone told him about it. That's the only reason why he went." He was like, "If someone didn't tell him, he wouldn't have even knew or even came." So do y'all not know about it, or do y'all just not want to go? Like, what is it? Because at the end of the day, y'all the ones who get down and propose to women. So I'm just curious why y'all don't go. But I already feel like y'all got the pick of the litter anyways. Like, y'all don't really need to go. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm very curious to know.
Yeah, there's a good point, man, because I even heard with the Kendra G that it's not a lot of men that's showing up, and at least in some of them. I can't speak for all of them, but I did hear at least a couple of them that it wasn't any men, and people that are having single events, they're struggling to get the men out there. So, like, what is the issue? Go ahead, Hink. I'll let go to Hink, and then we'll come back to Luis. Go ahead.
So, Viz, you know the Gooch is gonna have his way with you because them women put you in the corner and in the goddamn tailspin. You know he's gonna do it. And I feel bad for you, brother, but I'm gonna try to help you out. So, as far as when you hear women speak like that, yeah, that's a single woman's anthem. That's a lonely woman's anthem. So they want to justify why they lonely. So they make statements like this. Now, what you need to do is don't make it look like it's okay and it's good to be fun to be single. Because if not, you're gonna make it look like it's a nice place, like just like jail. They try to make jail look like it's a good place to go. It's cool. No, it shouldn't look like that. Just like being single shouldn't look like it. It should look lonely, miserable, cold, dark. It should look like that because you don't want to continue to be that. And when you're not, and put yourself in a situation like that, more than likely you're going to fight your way out. You're not going to want always be in a bad situation, in a lonely situation, in a dark situation. You're not. You're going to do whatever you can to get out of that situation. But as long as some of them women who talk like it, speak like that, they forever be like that. And Viz, I don't follow. You need to improve. I want you to be like that because you know when dudes see women like that, dudes take advantage of women like that. Now, when I was single, I was out there, I took advantage. Oh, you are? Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Do you need me to come over and keep you company? And I would benefit. I ain't got to go no further. Y'all know what the 20 minutes are about. I would benefit and take advantage of the situation and put them to the streets. But I'm just saying, how they want to move, let them operate like that. Now, we all know what that really means. That means they want to be out there and be part of the streets, enjoying the streets, be entertained by the streets. Then let them be. We need to find the women who don't want to be out the streets, don't want to be single. They looking for something real, something legit. They out there really in there improving themselves and not just saying the words because it sounds good on the internet, because it sounds good on social media. No, they out there getting the work like what Lou was explaining. They out there putting their work in, trying to get themselves mentally right, physically right, emotionally right, to prepare themselves for that man, such as myself, to come by and bless it with their last name. But for those women who don't, let them heifers be.
Hold on, before I go to Luis, Crayola, I seen you doing some face expressions. So, what were you thinking?
Because I don't think that being single should look like you're miserable. That sounds crazy to me. Because why do you need somebody else to complete you to make you feel at your full potential, happy? You don't need anybody really to do that. All you really need is yourself and God and yourself. So for you to say I'm supposed to make single look like it's miserable is insane to me. You're supposed to enjoy yourself while you're single. I didn't say that it don't get lonely from time to time, but overall, it is a good experience to have an experience. Because I don't need anybody else. I want somebody else. I do not need anybody else to complete me and make me feel happy, make me feel like myself, make me feel up. It's not as bad as people, and it's not as bad as you're thinking that it should be. That's how I feel.
All right, go ahead, Luis.
So in response to the video about why there are not enough men attending these sort of single retreats or single events, right? That was the premise in which we're operating.
Yeah.
So I don't see, this is the thing about it. If it's an event, I think that most dudes should really invest their money into spaces where they can cultivate, connections, relationships, in a growing aspect, not so much in like trying to find someone. Although if in the event you find someone that you might like or that you connect with, that you share similar values, then let the cards fall where they fall. I just don't think that men are really opting to go that route. I don't even see men being outside. I mean, I'm here in New England. I was in Boston last night and I went out to dinner and I went to this one spot and that thing was full of women. And I have not been in the city of Boston. I've been in here down here in Providence, but even when I'm down here at home, I go out to certain spaces and like women outnumber men, like 8 to 9. You know, like there's just the guys are just not outside. Unfortunately, a lot of guys are not outside. They're not during day events. They're not in the night scene. There are certain types of men who carry themselves in a particular type of way, who radiate a certain type of aura in which we could easily identify that are not really the best of characters in terms of a long-term fruitful relationship. We could, without a shadow of a doubt, we see those, we know who they are, etc. But I think for the majority of other men, they're not really outside like that. But women are definitely outside like that. And sort of like I don't really see why that correlation of men not attending these events, because they're just not really attending those. I think if women really want to find men, you got to go with those spaces where those types of men's are. That's really what it is. They're just not at these spaces that most women find themselves to be.
All right, go ahead, Cookie.
I was just about to say they're not showing up at the singles conferences because they have testosterone and a certain amount of pride. So certain types of men, they're probably the ones that you want, won't be there. Like I'm gonna admit that I'm single. This is my last resort. Like going out to a singles event, they're just not gonna do it. None of that I know. But I can give you a few lists of things, places where you may not think to go that a lot of men are sporting events. Real men like to go to sporting events. Real good men work out. You might find the man, you got to fish out the man whores. Usually they the trainers. The men just in there working out by themselves with their headphones on, wiping the machine when they're done. Usually are good guys. So the gym, uh, uh, farmers markets. Men eat usually. Most men, a lot of men eat healthy, like good men. And they're out there at the farmer market or doing. I'm in the country, so we have farmers markets. Just random places, even the grocery store. He out buying his own groceries. I mean, so when you're forcing it, it's always going to be a fail, I think. You just got to kind of bump into people. But sporting events is number one. And don't go to sporting events in high heels. That's a red flag for men.
Cookie, you know what sporting event attracts the most amount of women?
What?
Boxing.
How about-
Boxing events. You don't know how many boxing events I've been to where I walked in and there's like a convention of women like almost everywhere.
Really?
You know,
I've never been to a
I've
boxing match.
I've been to CE fights in New England. I've been to them in Philly. Even when you go to Las Vegas, a lot of women attend those events. A lot of
Y'all
them.
need to start going to
Look,
football games, basketball
That
games.
too, that too. But it just in my personal experience, I have
As a
seen a lot.
fan, though, like
Yeah.
not